Thanks for coming in, Pete. Great to see you.
Thanks for asking me.
How many World Challenges have you been to? This is the 9th one, I believe, that Bodyflight has had.
I definitely wasn't at the first. I think it was either from the second or third on, so at least 7.
Because you're a pretty permanent fixture here with your team, Sebastian Excel.
Well, a permanent fixture anyway. I mean, Paul does such a good job of making us feel comfortable that we do a lot of work here as well. But,
with Wctv.com, that's Wctv.com.
That was you giving the push, thank you.
So you're coaching a lot of teams in the meet as well. Which teams are you coaching? Kaizen, I know, obviously the girls.
During the meet, it will be mostly Kaizen, just keeping an eye on them. The other teams sort of look after themselves, and Kaizen are big girls now as well, but I like to keep an eye on them because they've been such a fun project to work with.
But I just meant generally the teams here, how many of those you've been working with the channel camp?
There'll be 6 or 7 teams, maybe up to 10 between Steve and myself. I guess about 5 each that we'll have been looking after. So we'll have vested interest, if you like.
Nice. And this year, tell us your sparkling lineup.
Okay, we have Brian, the famous Brian Johnson.
From Airspeed.
From Airspeed. Thomas Hughes from
Airspeed.
And Excel. And Steve and myself, the old guys. That's it.
And you and Thomas have a pretty special bond going back quite a long way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Steve, Thomas and myself, we were in the last lineup of Excel in 2003. And that was a big year for us, so it was fun.
And let's remind us, that was now the history of Excel. You started in what, 1995?
6 kind of thing, 5, 6, yeah.
And then it was you, Toby, John, and Chris Lynch.
And Chris Lynch, yeah. Chris Lynch came out of hiding yet again to join us, which was good.
Yes, and then you went for a few years with the sponsorship of Skydive Sebastian.
Exactly.
And Thomas was the magic man when he joined you.
Yeah, Thomas was the tunnel rat. He was the young kid who had been doing like a 14 average in a tunnel team, and then with a couple of hundred jumps joined the team, and then that year went straight to a 21 average. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty impressive. And he did it. He was started to jump with us. He was jumping a Mach 135 or something.
I remember that, and you guys were all on much smaller parachutes, doing a nice turn in, and there's Thomas.
And Thomas like, yeah, come on in.
So you must feel pretty proud now, I guess, when you see.
I mean, no, it was obvious then. It was so obvious then that he had a huge amount of talent, and from the moment he joined the team, we started learning from him as well. It was very much a mutually beneficial scenario.
But quite a brave thing to do, to take someone with so few jumps at that point in time.
We didn't think so, yeah. No. I mean, it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. I mean, traditionally you would not pick someone with so few jumps, especially back then in 2002.
Yes.
When tunnels hadn't been around that long. But for us it was screamingly obvious that he had talent and skill that he built in the tunnel.
Yes, and I was just thinking they were very different days in those days. Then the only way that you got good at skydiving then was by skydiving a lot. So the people that were good had been around the sport a long time now. Tunnels have completely changed the game, but I'm trying to give you credit for being ahead of the time.
Recognising it, yeah. Well, it's good because Airspeed chose not to have him, and he ended up joining us afterwards.
Ah, cool.
So, yeah.
And I believe Airspeed also asked you to join them, but you decided to stay British. Is that right, or is that a rumour?
No, that's one that you pulled out the closet. Yeah, there was a time when Airspeed asked me to join them, and I made some decisions. I'm super happy with them still to this day. I felt a great sense of loyalty to my teammates, first of all, but also I was heavily competing for the UK, and I felt a very strong bond, with that whole setup. So.
Yes, and can I thank you as a British skydiver for what you've done, because it wasn't just your personal choice then, deciding not to go with Airspeed and which would have been the American way, and to stay British. As a result of you making that personal choice, you've had a huge impact on the quality of the sport in this country, from everything from being the example of Sebastian Excel, first UK team to hit a 15-point average, first UK team to hit a 20-point average, giving young people the role model that they could do that, but then also the sterling work that you've done with UK Tunnel Camp and how many player coach teams you've been on. Have you ever thought about that? How much the impact you've
I'd like to respond with that. It doesn't feel like nothing is single-handed in this, like any team effort. I mean, with John and Steve, Thomas, all of those people were part of that process. I can't take sole credit for it. I can take 20% or 25% of it. But it definitely, at all stages of the game, it was the support of all of us as a team and our inputs as team members as well that made those things work. I definitely can't lay claim to it, because when I came into the sport, I had heroes that I was following, and it just kind of dovetails in. There's lots of people involved at that time. Well, not a lot. There's a core group of people. And I'm very happy to be one of them, and I'm honoured to be a part of it. But it's certainly not one person's work.
Cool. Well, credit to all of you. But yeah, it's always special to see you get back with Thomas. You're looking forward to that this time.
Super fun. Yeah, my hair's just jumped up a little bit.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super uncurrent in the tunnel. I did one tunnel meet with some Europeans, if you like, a little bit earlier in the year. That was fun with Martial and Marin, the two brothers, Ivan Quadrio. That was really the only sort of four-way I've done this year. Apart from
you did pretty good then, didn't you?
It was fun. It was super fun. I mean, those guys are my heroes, going up through the ranks, if you like, watching them as world champions. And we did good with no training. We did great. Yeah.
And what did you average then?
Yeah. It was, I can't remember, 22 maybe. Yeah. 23. I can't.
And what are you hoping for?
I don't know.
You don't know. You haven't got a number.
We never go into the meet with a number in our mind. We just do the best that we possibly can.
But it's pretty impressive that Excel stopped jumping completely in 2003, and yet here we are in 2014, 10 years later, and you're still able to pull a team and give the guys who are really training at the top end a run for their money.
It's fun, huh? I mean, yeah, it's good to be able to do that, and I guess staying current with flying. We all have a great passion for it still, for what we do. It's not going to keep going forever, so we just enjoy it while it's here.
And is that the main reason you put these teams together every year with the Sebastian Excel? I take it, is it you that is the big push behind putting them together?
No, I'm again very much part of the process. Each year there's someone that does a little bit more than the others to make it happen.
Oh, yes.
And no, I would say we share the responsibility with that, yeah.
So who's done that this time?
I guess Brian really pushed it hard this year.
He has a lot of fun jumping with you, I noticed.
I think so, yeah. I mean, he's one that truly comes out of nowhere just to start flying again.
Yeah, because when he stopped airspeed, I haven't really seen him around at any event other than this.
Well, he still does alternate stuff every so often for airspeed or the paraclete teams.
Because it must be the event he looks forward to most. When you see him in the tunnel, I don't know, it's just got this, like as the round goes on, the smile gets bigger and bigger, and he gets madder and madder. Does that make it hard to concentrate?
I have to look at it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, Pete, and wish you a great meet.